Coming up here on GMA, we start on a Thursday with the heat. So many Americans are feeling it for the first time this summer, really. We should have our first official heat wave in New York City. Washington Dulles actually had their hottest September temperature on record, 100 degrees after tying at 99 for 3 days. So we'll get into all that and when the heat breaks. Plus, we're watching Hurricane Lee that will intensify to a Cat 4 just east of the eastern, or just north of the eastern Caribbean. Looks like it misses most of the islands, then starts to make its turn toward the coast. We will detail why we need to watch closely and how by the following weekend that could be a story. And then the mysterious disappearance of a cruise ship passenger who vanished at sea. We're going to hear from his family this morning. You'll see those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Still ahead on our next hour of GMSA, those floating barriers on the southern border are a hot topic across Texas. What Governor Greg Abbott is saying about the state's appeal against a federal judge's order. And San Antonio is experiencing a homeless crisis. City leaders are trying to figure out how to address it. The steps they're taking today to handle it coming up. And as we go to break, another live look outside with TransGuide. Traffic moving pretty good. This morning on GMSA, a woman in the hospital after a shooting on the city's south side. What we've been able to learn from the scene about the suspects. Plus,
it feels like a betrayal. It feels like the government is choosing to protect the mastermind, the perpetrators, the financiers.
Monday marks 22 years since 9/11, and the battle to hold 5 suspects accountable is raging. The conditions of a potential plea deal in the case that were rejected by the White House.
And once again, outside with live cam, it looks like it's looked like every day for I don't know how long now, but here's the good news. Things could be changing. So we have anticipation. We have hope on the horizon. All that good stuff.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It's 6 a.m. It is Thursday, September 7th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. We made an accomplishment. We made it to the end of the week after all those hot temperatures once again.
Friday Eve, right?
Friday Eve.
Friday Eve.
Yes.
So there we go.
And the eve of the hottest day this week, too.
Oh.
We're going to be at the 104 tomorrow.
Good.
102 today. Yeah, 102 today. Going to hit a record.
Okay.
Or set a record, I should say. We tied the record yesterday.
Okay.
And another hot weekend.
Okay.
Then we'll start to see. Yeah, so we're kind of in the countdown of 4 more days of triple-digit temperatures and going through Sunday. Got some clouds right now out there at the airport, and 81 is the current temperature. Same thing, Canyon Lake. Numbers are pretty close to what they were yesterday, including these, the dew points. You get up to 74, 75, and higher than that, it is just like putting on a wet towel, wrapping that around you as you step outside. It sort of pushes back almost. The humidity is so high. So we have a heat index of 87 at the airport. Same thing up there at Canyon Lake. 86 is what it feels like right now at Castroville. Mold is on the low side. Updated count comes out an hour and a half or so. Heat advisory today because the humidity, which will again drop down kind of like yesterday, somewhat in the afternoon. There's still going to be enough of it out there to add to that heat index. At one point yesterday, we were up to about 104 for a heat index, and that's where we're going to be today, or even higher than that, especially off to the east. And that's why eastern half of the area has that heat advisory. Temperatures stay right around 80, give or take the next couple of hours. A few clouds around here, and then we will make it up into the low 90s, 92 to be exact at noon. Normal high temperature. Add 10 to that. 102 high. Like I said, that's going to be a new record. Hotter tomorrow, hot over the weekend. Then we have those rain chances and lower temperatures next week. How good of a chance of rain? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's going on?
Well, the flashing lights over here, Mike. Let's get a quick look here at 281 at Jones-Maltsberger. Let's go ahead and bring that camera in to make sure that we can get a shot there. You can see that we have first responders that have arrived out there to the scene. This is actually a TxDOT Hero truck. We were waiting to see if that was actually going to be the case, if we were going to see one of those crews show up to help the driver out, and looks like we were able to catch that on our TransGuide camera. So better news to report. Remember, this is 281 northbound, just before you approach Jones-Maltsberger. But right behind me, the road's pretty quiet for the most part. That has been our only main issue out on the roadways. I'm not seeing anything else being reported, and in fact, right now is the perfect opportunity to take advantage of some of the quiet roadways. 28 minutes along I-10 westbound if you are heading in from Seguin, so we're still in the green there. 33 along 87 northbound heading in from Lavernia, and it's a 28-minute drive time for our friends that are heading up from Floresville. But I really want to get it back here. Those flashing lights, are some good news there at 281 northbound. So we'll watch it closely, but this really hasn't been causing an impact with traffic. Can't say the same for some of the construction that we're going to see along Loop 1604. I'll have another update there coming up a little later on. David.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman was shot while she was driving on the city's southeast side overnight. It happened just after midnight in the 200 block of Baldwin Boulevard. That's near I-37 South. Police say the woman was shot twice while driving and was eventually taken to the hospital. SAPD says the suspect got away in a Dodge truck. And now to the border, a story we're continuing to follow closely this morning. Governor Greg Abbott tweeting Texas will appeal following a federal judge order that the state move border buoys on the Rio Grande.
Sarah Costa joins us live with all the details. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Stephanie. Yeah, that judge says those floating barriers need to be moved closer to the Texas riverbank. They've been in the middle of the river since they were first installed earlier this summer. The buoys were first installed in the Rio Grande as part of Operation Lone Star, Texas's campaign to secure the southern border. The Justice Department sued Texas over the buoys in July, saying the state didn't have permission to install them. Texas says it does and points to the Constitution. The ruling also ordered Texas to not install any more structures on or in the river until the final outcome of the DOJ's lawsuit involving the buoys has been determined. Now the state has until September 15th to comply to that judge's ruling. You can read the full breakdown of this story right now. Just head to our website at ksat.com. Live near downtown, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Steph, David.
Thank you, Sarah. In your morning headlines, Monday marks 22 years since the 9/11 attacks.
And right now, the legal battle to hold 5 suspects accountable is heating up.
As ABC's Andrew Dimbert tells us, a potential plea deal is being rejected.
A major development
in the case against 5 men accused of orchestrating the September 11th attacks nearly 22 years ago. Some of the conditions of their potential plea deal have now been rejected by President Biden. Military prosecutors had offered the men held at Guantanamo Bay, including alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, a deal that would have spared them solitary confinement and provided medical treatment for alleged abuse while in CIA custody. But Biden saying no, a spokesperson saying the president does not believe that the agreement would be appropriate in these circumstances. The terms of the agreement called for the detainees to plead guilty in exchange for being spared the death penalty. Nearly 3,000 people died in the attacks, the single worst assault on the U.S. since Pearl Harbor. Families of 9/11 victims expressed outrage over the possible plea deal.
It feels like a betrayal. It feels like the government is choosing to protect the mastermind, the perpetrators, the financiers.
Now, many welcoming Biden's decision. A man who lost his father on 9/11 saying, "We look forward to the day that we can praise our government for finally giving us justice and holding all parties involved in the attacks accountable."
Firefighter William M. Hughes.
Meanwhile, the New York Fire Department yesterday added another 43 names to its World Trade Center memorial wall. All died of illness related to their work at Ground Zero. And last night in Lower Manhattan, the city tested its Tribute in Light, which will shine into the sky Monday night to honor the lives lost. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
In other headlines this morning, the urgent manhunt in Pennsylvania continues with an escaped murderer still on the run. And now we're learning how Danilo Cavalcante escaped from prison. Security footage shows him, quote, crab walking up prison walls to escape. Prison officials in Chester County, Pennsylvania say they had just added razor wire on the roof after another inmate escaped in almost the same way less than 4 months ago. Nearly an hour after he scaled those walls, you can see it right there on your screen how he's doing it. Prison officials say they conducted a special count, then sounded the public escape alarm and notified 911 about 16 minutes after they realized he was missing.
For as long as he's at large and staying in this general area, people will have a higher level of anxiety.
As the fugitive hunt continues, the extreme heat is making it harder for authorities to locate body heat signals from their helicopters.
A drug that can reverse opioid overdoses is now available without a prescription. Narcan is a nasal spray version of naloxone. Now you can find it at Walgreens, Rite Aid, Walmart, and CVS for about $45. Almost every state already allows pharmacists to provide the medication without a prescription. Now, due to FDA approval in March, it can go on shelves and online.
An unusual donation at a Goodwill in Arizona has police investigating where it came from. Employees found a human skull in a donation bin. Detectives were called to the scene to investigate and immediately sent the skull to a medical examiner's office, which determined the skull was real but wasn't part of any crime. It turns out the skull appears to be part of some historic ancient remains. No criminal charges will be filed against the person who donated the skull.
And before we go to break, a different kind of discovery. A 7-year-old girl got a pretty big birthday present when she found a nearly 3-carat diamond. Aspen Brown found it at Crater of Diamonds State Park in Arkansas. The park is well known for being a place where visitors can find diamonds. Of course, most don't. According to the park's website, more than 35,000 diamonds have been found there since 1972. Aspen's is the second largest one discovered this year.
She just paid for her college.
I think so.
Maybe so. 609, 80 degrees.
And still to come on GMSA, UPS delivery drones can now take off on longer flights. We're going to explain why before 6:30.
And also coming up after the break, the Department of Veteran Affairs is front and center, making it easier for former service members to get help with their mental health.
And looking out there with live cam, the story today, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I guess if you're not a fan of the triple-digit heat, because we're going to hit those triple digits once again today, but looking forward to some good news next week. We'll be right back.
Streaming now.
We're about $500 to $600 a month on water usage.
Their water bill more than doubled from one month to the next after a pipe sprung a leak.
We had a break. The ground movement happens all over San Antonio. A few weeks later, we get a bill in the mail for 1 million gallons of water, $15,580.
That's just ridiculous.
They've been bullying us, intimidating us.
Now SAWS says it's time to pay up or have the water shut off. KSAT investigates the water company's policies on outrageously high bills.
Streaming now on these platforms.
And welcome back. It is 6/14, September Suicide Prevention Month. And there's probably no group more impacted at the moment than our nation's veterans.
Jonathan Cotto tells us how the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is trying to take mental health wellness from the back lines to front and center.
With the rate of suicide among veterans on the rise, Dr. Matthew Miller, Executive Director of Suicide Prevention for the VA, says it's critical to spread the word that suicide is preventable.
No better time than now to talk about the importance of reaching out, asking for help, and us providing solid resources for veterans.
Outside of diagnoses and disorders, Miller says day-to-day life like relationships, financial pressures, and occupational concerns can sometimes be too much for some.
It's important to know then veterans can reach out when they're experiencing these very common issues. They don't need to be embarrassed. They don't need to be ashamed. And they're not going to take resources from other veterans by reaching out.
The VA has launched a new PSA for their ongoing campaign, Don't Wait, Reach Out, where vets who feel they are struggling are encouraged to visit the comprehensive website, va.gov/reach.
So what you'll see when you go there is that the content is organized based on emotions and feelings. You know, if I'm feeling isolated, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling depressed, or circumstances, you know, issues with jobs, transitions, relationships, divorce, housing.
Once you click on an emotion or circumstance, you're connected with education, information, and direct access to resources available through the VA.
There's navigation by feelings and situation, not by diagnosis or disorder. I think that's meaningful to veterans.
Reporting front and center, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
And we still have issues on I-10 and Provan. Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Well, this is something new that popped up on our TransGuide camera. A stall 18-wheeler, what it looks like in the westbound lane. So just be on the lookout there if your commute takes you through this area. We're starting to see a lot more traffic move through I-10, and that is because we're getting closer to morning rush. Another area where we tend to see a lot of traffic pick up, of course, Loop 1604. Take a look at this aerial view of all the road work that's taking place in just one of the segments that's under construction. Remember, this is part of the 1604 North Expansion Project, and the goal goal here is to increase mobility, but a lot of drivers have been experiencing congestion out there, and that's because we have 3 segments that are currently under construction. Work is expected to ramp back up throughout the week, so let's get a look here at our map. In fact, one of the areas where we see that work taking place is along the I-10 interchange, which is not too far from segment 1. So the segments span from Bandera Road all the way to 281, so that's a total of 3 segments spanning about 12 miles. But as I mentioned, we have been seeing a lot of work ramp up through the area. So as a quick reminder, we have this project that is taking place from Bandera Road to I-10, segment 1, and that will take us all the way to Monday, September 11th. This is 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning. We'll see the westbound frontage road closure there from I-10 to John Peace Boulevard and LaContere Parkway. And based on what we're seeing on our map, it does look like we are seeing some delays out there. Crews should have wrapped up a little while ago, so I'll get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide to find out if there are any other delays taking place out there. But in the meantime, scan this QR code. Takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. There's a full list of all the closures taking place in our area, including a full breakdown of what is expected along Loop 1604 over the coming years. And yep, we did say years here, so just plan ahead and make sure to pack your patience with that cup of coffee.
Long for the days when we can roll down the window and enjoy a ride to work. How far away are we?
It's going to be a while. It's going to be, I mean, usually we always kind of, hope for that big front to come through in September. Sometimes, we get that early one. A lot of times it's not really until first couple of weeks of October when you open up the windows and have that
really
breeze
nice.
kind of on your face. So just close your eyes and pretend that's the situation this morning, because it's very humid out there. Temperatures are going to be staying steady right around 80 here in town, 70s in the hill country, 102 later on this afternoon, which is going to be a new record high temperature. Been hitting a lot of records these days.
Yes, we have.
Yes, indeed. All right,
we've got. I'm sorry, I wouldn't pay.
You're looking at the school bus.
Watching the school bus.
You like school bus?
I like that school bus.
Yeah, it has AC, David. So it's good.
Hey, there you go.
A few clouds hanging around here right now. 87 is what it feels like when you factor in all of that humidity out there, of course. 102 yesterday. That tied yesterday's record. And as you can see, a lot of low hundreds around here. And actually, now Cotulla 104, but then Gonzales, Victoria, even College Station 104, 105s. And then there was more humidity left over really off to the east. And that's why the heat advisory was in effect yesterday and also again today, because pretty much a similar situation where we're going to have those low hundreds. 105 Austin, 104 is College Station, LaGrange, and in and around the metropolitan area. Everybody is going to be enjoying triple-digit temperatures, even from New Braunfels, Seguin, Lavernia, up to 104 later on today. And then it gets even hotter tomorrow. And again, we've got some more of that heat index to deal with later on today. Yeah, I mean, really, really just steamy hot around Victoria. All right, I want to show you the 2 long-range computer models been showing all morning long. Put them back to back here. So this is the model that's a little more bullish as far as rain is concerned. A few showers around here on Monday. Again, painted in with a broad brush, but there'll be that chance of rain Tuesday as well, and then better chance of rain Wednesday, and then going into Thursday. Now, here's the other long-range computer model that I like to show, and this one is not as aggressive with the rain coming in here. A few extra clouds Monday as well as Tuesday, but not great rain chances, and then a few of these showers scattered about here on Wednesday as well as on into Thursday, probably a better shot at some rain. So you got to kind of take both into account and sort of mix it up. So I'm leaning toward the one that is a little more encouraging as far as rain is concerned as we go on into the middle of next week. The high sitting on top of us still stays in place, basically the same pattern we've been in for too darn long around here. Then it finally starts to work its way on out of here. The trough develops over around the Great Lakes. That's going to get us into this northwesterly flow. So that is going to bring in little disturbances. Also, there's a front which is going to try and lie in the area. Whether it comes on through, and a lot of times these, September fronts, they can put on the brakes before they ever reach our area, which is why there's, kind of that qualifier as far as the long-range models. One is more aggressive than the other one is. 104 tomorrow, 100s over the weekend. Yes, I am going with leaning toward an encouraging chance of rain. We'll put it that way by the middle part of next week. Still not written in stone. I mean, we're still almost a week away from this. We will have lower temperatures around here, but yeah, sometimes those fronts don't like to come down here. That's why we got to take into account both of those long-range computer models.
Gotcha, but at least there's a chance.
There is, yeah. We are going to be getting down into the 90s. The extra cloud cover as well is going to be helping out too.
That would be great.
Maybe it'll be more.
That's true.
That would be nice as well.
I'm just digging for positive.
Yes.
622 and 80 degrees.
And just ahead, good news for travelers who are planning to fly this fall. What you should look out for in your GMA First Look.
When you have chronic kidney disease, there are places you'd like to be. Like here. And here. Not so much here. If you have chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life. Farxiga. And Farxiga reduces the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis.
Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis.
Farxiga can help you keep living life. Ask your doctor for Farxiga for chronic kidney disease. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga. In this morning's GMA First Look, after so many months of soaring airfares, are prices finally ready to come back to the ground?
Right now, we're seeing airfares are incredibly low, especially for trips taken in September and October.
According to an analysis by the travel app Hopper, ticket prices across the board are down 10% from 2019 and 9% from last year. Some of that may be seasonal.
Every year around the end of August, people stop booking travel. They're headed back to school, back to work, headed into the end of the year, starting to think about the holidays and not thinking about booking travel for September and October. So historically, airlines, hotels, even rental car companies to a degree drop prices.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you when experts say is the best time to buy those tickets. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, New York.
There were tears that day in the building. They were disappointed. People forget that these situations impact real people who have real feelings.
This morning on GMSA, a local nonprofit gets crippled by thieves. How that group says a series of catalytic converter thefts is making it harder to help people.
Outside with Live Cam, as you wake up today, we have some good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not the train coming at you. It's true light. The problem is getting through the tunnel to that light.
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem. Good morning. It is 6:30 on Thursday, September 7th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. And what David is talking about is we have to power through the next few days and the weekend to get a little bit of relief.
Yep, and we're still looking at temperatures just in the 90s. You know, it's funny to say we're all so excited about mid-90s.
Yeah, what a treat.
But when we've been suffering through triple digits and going to continue with that, yeah, that is going to be a nice little treat out there. We do have a few clouds as of right now. Temperature stands at 80 degrees, nearly 10 above normal. And the dew point, 75. That means the humidity kind of pushes back when you walk outside. It's pretty darn humid out there as of right now. Wind is primarily out of the south. 85 is what it feels like at the airport. 87 Canyon Lake, 70s in parts of the hill country. Mold is on the low side. Updated count comes out in about an hour or so. We do have a heat advisory once again posted right along the I-35 corridor, San Antonio, Bexar County, Atascosa County off to the east. And this is because the heat index readings are going to be, even though we hit 102, which, by the way, is going to be a new record high today, we will have those heat index readings about 105 or even higher than that off to the east, hence the heat advisory. So a few clouds hanging around here, plenty of humidity this morning, and yep, more sunshine, more triple-digit temperatures. Today will be day number 71, by the way, of 100-degree days so far this year. Hotter tomorrow. It's going to be the hottest day of the week. We get up to 104 here in town tomorrow. And then, yeah, a hot weekend. Next week, we're looking at a few showers and some lower temperatures. All those details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's going on, sir?
3 active crashes at this time, Mike. I was on the phone with our friends at TransGuide working to get some details out here. We have a crash reported here first at 151 eastbound, just before Loop 410. Check it out. We have at least 2 lanes that are blocked at this time, and we're down to 1. Traffic is moving through the area very slowly. Not a good time to have any incident pop up on the roadway. It is just a little bit after 6:30, so a lot more folks are waking up. They're going to encounter problems pretty much in a few spots around town. So this is just one of them, 151 eastbound before Loop 410. Check out that nasty color of orange and red building behind me. We don't like to see that, but we know it's expected. Anytime a crash pops up, especially at this time, it's going to cause delays for drivers. I want to take a drive now over here to 35 southbound at South Cross Boulevard. We have a second crash reported. Again, 2 lanes are blocked here, but we're not really seeing so much of a delay in the southbound lanes because a lot of folks are making their way along I-35 northbound, heading into the downtown area. Be on the lookout there. And we do have another crash, as I mentioned, 3. This is the third one at 35 northbound at North Walters, where we have 1 lane blocked. So our morning commute started off very quiet, but now it is really ramped up with issues. And don't forget, we also have a delay here for the Loop 1604 North expansion project. Part of the conversation I had with our friends at TransGuide was that the crews there were experiencing some delay with the pickup, but it does look like that should be improving pretty quickly. Just be on the lookout right there at I-10 westbound at Loop 1604. So we've entered morning rush and have had plenty of problems already to report out there this early in the morning. I'm going to keep a close eye on this. Be on the lookout. Again, this is 151 eastbound. We have 2 lanes blocked, down to just 1 near Loop 410. Hopefully we'll have a better update to report, but it is getting busier out there. So just remember to drive safe. David.
Thank you, Stephen. An extramarital affair with the employee of a donor is at the center of suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton's impeachment trial in Austin. One of Paxton's former assistant attorney generals, Jeff Mateer, testified yesterday that he confronted Paxton about why he appeared to keep going out of his way to help donor Nate Paul, who is a high-profile Austin real estate developer. Mateer says when he learned about the affair with Paul's employee, that explained why Paxton kept looking out for him. Mateer is just one of several people that reported Paxton to the FBI.
That I again asked him, and this wasn't the first time, but Ken, why are we involved in this?
Is it possible, Mr. Mateer, that you jumped to a lot of conclusions really fast?
I don't believe so, sir.
And you could have put all this to bed if you'd just talked to your boss.
Paxton's attorneys accused Mateer of trying to stage a coup in the AG's office. Mateer says he was just acting in good faith and thought Paul was trying to blackmail Paxton. Paxton has pleaded not guilty to all articles of impeachment.
This morning, the Bexar County DA's office firing back at the San Antonio Police Department. This comes after several days of finger pointing over the recent shootings of San Antonio police officers. That latest incident happening on Tuesday on the city's southwest side. 29-year-old Dominic Rubio is accused of shooting an officer with a shotgun during that pursuit. The officer is now recovering. Records show that Rubio has a history of repeated probation violations and criminal charges that go back a decade. Police Chief William McManus has expressed frustration over, quote, repeat offenders who are on the streets and not in jail. And Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez released a statement that says in part, quote, Rubio should have been in jail long before yesterday's shooting, and it was the San Antonio Police Department's job to search for him, serve the warrant, and get him there, end quote.
So while the police chief and DA blame the others' departments, we waited for hours at the Bexar County Courthouse to ask County Judge Peter Sakai about the shootings, specifically about Mayor Nirenberg's comments to us about the recent wave of officer-involved shootings and ways to keep repeat offenders in jail. The mayor said he's spoken with Judge Sakai about possible solutions. The judge's spokesperson said the two have spoken over the phone, but didn't know whether the judge had spoken with the district attorney about the issues. Meanwhile, we'll keep trying to get answers from the judge. And this morning, we are working to learn more about San Antonio couple kidnapped in their home in front of their kids. It happened yesterday morning on Mission Bell near Palo Alto Road on the city's south side. Police say 2 men kicked down the family's door and kidnapped the parents of 5 at gunpoint. Investigators say those kidnappers drove away from the home in a white SUV.
Catalytic converter thefts are nothing new, and now a nonprofit that helps those with intellectual and developmental disabilities is one of the latest victims. At the end of August, thieves took the catalytic converters from most of ARC of San Antonio's vehicles. A spokesperson with the ARC explains that theft is the reason the group had to cancel at least 40 off-campus outings. Now they have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for repairs. So the ARC of San Antonio, their clients will have to miss out on bowling, trips to the movies, and volunteering with Meals on Wheels.
There were tears that day in the building. They were disappointed. People forget that these situations impact real people who have real feelings.
Now, with the ARC's 2 remaining vehicles, staff are taking clients to another ARC center with a pool. The president says the financial setback comes as they've just dipped into their savings for much-needed upgrades.
And happening today, another opportunity for you to share your thoughts on the San Antonio City budget.
Our Sarah Costa joins us now live with how you could take part in today's public hearing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, David. Good morning, staff. Yeah, that meeting is happening at 9 this morning in City Council chambers. Then later today, the Bexar County Commissioners are also holding their budget workshop meeting. This all comes as they work to approve their 2024 budgets next week for the city's $3.7 billion proposal. The final vote on the 2024 budget is scheduled for Thursday, September 14th. You can find a link to it on ksat.com. Now, city leaders are also working to address the issue of those experiencing homelessness. So San Antonio District 10 hosted a town hall last night to try to tackle that problem. A number of groups were invited to the meeting, including Haven for Hope, SAM Ministries, and the Department of Human Services.
This is something where in every corner of the district, you're seeing more and more homeless encampments pop up. It's a public safety issue. It's also an economic development issue. It's something that we really need to address now for the safety of those in our neighborhoods, as well as for our businesses.
This will also be part of that budget proposal that we mentioned. It will call for an increase in homeless encampment sweeps. Live near downtown, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Steph, David.
Thank you, Sarah.
It is 6:40 and 79 degrees.
New research shows a lot of teens don't feel confident about finances. Just ahead, how you can help and what your kids should know about money.
Welcome back. It is 6:43. Most of us have probably said at some point in our life, we wish we could have known more about money when we were kids or when we were at least younger.
These days, new research from Greenlight Financial found that 74% of teens also don't feel confident about their financial education.
Alexa Lorenzo shares some ways you can raise kids to be financially intelligent.
How much does your child know about money?
We teach them budgeting. They have their own accounts. They manage their own accounts. They understand the importance of saving, of investing.
I try to explain to him that he needs to start saving because he's 10 in a couple years he's going to be, or a few years he's going to be driving. So we need to save up for a car because I don't want to buy him one.
A study from the University of Cambridge found that lifelong money habits are largely established by age 7. The researchers discovered that kids observe money behaviors and attitudes at a very early age, and they imitate what they see. The good news is you can help your kids develop a savvy money mindset. First, use effective language. Be sure to communicate that you are in control of your financial situation. Instead of saying, "We can't afford that," try, "That's not how we choose to spend our money. We want to put savings first." Next, take advantage of teachable moments. For instance, when you're shopping, point out discounted items and show your kids how much they can save by purchasing something on sale. Also, help your little ones create a budget. One way to do this is to give them small, regular allowances for chores. Then help them divide their earnings into needs, wants, savings, and charity, with dedicated jars for each. Experts recommend encouraging kids to put between 10% and 20% of their new earnings into savings. I'm Alexa Lorenzo reporting.
Experts say it's also important to train your kids to avoid impulse purchases.
That's right. You should encourage your child to wait at least a day before they decide to buy anything over $15. Yeah, just take your time. Think about it.
Why $15?
Huh? I don't know. I think every parent can move the mark.
Nowadays, that's a Big Mac. I mean, go hungry.
That's true. The concession stands there. Well, time now 6:46. Let's check back with Stephen.
Well, we have been keeping a very close eye on these problems here at 151 at Loop 410. This is just one of the many problem spots drivers may encounter as they get the commute moving this morning. Remember, this is in the eastbound lanes. If you are heading out toward Loop 410 over on the city's west side, you're going to see traffic pretty much snarled there because we do have a crash that's blocked at least 2 lanes. Traffic's moving by, but just by 1 lane, and by the looks of it, very slow. And so you can expect to see some delays if your commute is going to take you through the eastbound lanes of 151. Of course, that yellow and orange we saw earlier has now changed that nasty color. We're seeing a lot of red out there on the screen. So it's causing some backups for folks. Be on the lookout. Let's hope everyone's doing okay. Take a drive over here because maybe some progress that we're seeing at 35 southbound at South Cross Boulevard. Based on what I was looking at from the TransGuide cameras, it does look like we may be catching the tail end of this. It really hasn't caused an issue with traffic. We know at least 2 lanes are blocked here at 35 southbound near South Cross, but again, it does look like that may be clearing out. Another drive over here, another crash at 35 northbound at North Walters may be in the clearing stages as well. Not spotting any delays just yet, but another place that we have been keeping a close eye on is right over here along I-10 westbound, just around Loop 1604. We have a portion of the Loop 1604 North expansion project that was doing under some construction overnight. Crews are experiencing a little bit of a delay there, which is why we have that stretch of red and yellow. Hopefully that will be clearing soon. We've entered morning rush, and as I mentioned, we have plenty of problems to report out there on the roadways. Not a good start for anyone that has to hit the roads. We know that it only pretty much goes downhill from here with traffic. So let's make sure that we watch out for those crews. And haven't spotted paramedics. It's very tough to say, but hopefully there's no injuries associated with any of these crashes.
Yeah, hopefully not. Thank you, Stephen.
Just about the same time yesterday when things started really going south. So, all right, thank you very much, sir. Here's a nice view out at the airport, and as you can see, another plane just about ready to land there, heading down to the southeast on runway 14. The winds are predominantly coming in here out of the south to southeast. Quick check of the tropics again if you are keeping track. This is Hurricane Lee. It is right now a Category 1 storm, 80 miles per hour, but this thing is really forecast. It is just, I mean, all the ingredients are ripe for the pickings out there. So this thing is really going to be gaining strength very quickly, getting up to a Category 4 storm at least by Saturday, and then possibly even stronger than that. Now, it is going to be staying just to the north of the Antilles as well as the Bahamas. Then it right now looks like it is going to make a turn up to the north there and avoid the eastern seaboard. But I'm going to have to keep a close eye on that, especially over there in the eastern United States. 85 is what it feels like out at the airport right now. 87 Canyon Lake with all the humidity out there. 86 in Pleasanton. Temperatures will warm up through the 80s up to 92. Normal high already. Be nice to stop there at noon, but then you add 10 to it. So we get up to 102 today. Same as yesterday. Tied the record yesterday. Setting a new record today. The current record is 100 today. Nothing obviously is showing up on the satellite picture right now. Those low clouds will show up a little bit later on. And then around the country, there's really not a heck of a lot going on either. Just a few showers here and there. Already definitely fall and then some. Look at that, 43 right now at Cutbank, 49 International Falls, and even as far south as Omaha. So the cooler air is starting to invade the northern portion of the country, and it's kind of a shoving match between that high, which has been holding tough and is going to hold tough the next couple of days and keep us very hot, and then the cooler air up there to the north. So this will start to finally kind of edge off, weaken a little bit as we go in toward the latter part of the weekend, and that's also, as it's off to the southwest of us, going to put us in that northwesterly flow. Plus, this trough wants to kind of push a bit of a front down in our direction. Sometimes these early September fronts tend to kind of maybe put on the brakes before they get here, which is why the discrepancy with a couple of long-range models. One has it just coming on through here, better rain chances, lower temperatures. The other one is a little more conservative as far as this coming on through. We will have, though, that big trough up there to the northeast still kind of trying to dominate things around here, and again keeping us in that northwesterly flow, so that will keep that small chance of rain around here as we go into the middle part of next week. Triple-digit temperatures. Yesterday we hit 70 days so far this year, and we will continue to rack them up through Sunday, and then those small rain chances move on in here, increasing toward the middle of next week, and some lower temperatures by the middle of next week. We're going to wrap things up after this.
If the winter storm in 2021 taught us anything, it was how important it is to be prepared, not only for extreme weather conditions, but for power outages. In situations like that, it's worth knowing what to have on hand and what actions you need to take to get you and your family safely through it.
Coming up today on GMSA at 9, what you can do to prepare before a power outage occurs and what you should know before using a portable generator. We're going to have the discussion and much more today on GMSA at 9.
In the meantime, very busy Thursday morning on the roadways. Here's Stephen.
Day two here, David. We actually have another busy start. Let's get a quick look at TransGuide because we do have a crash reported 151 eastbound. This is right around Loop 410. Take a look behind me. You can see that we have traffic that is pretty much back to back, down to just one lane. It's not the only crash that I'm tracking here in the lab. We have a few others that's been reported. Of course, this is the big one. You have the eastbound lanes that are seeing a pretty big backup out there, including 35 southbound at South Cross Boulevard, delay in the northbound lanes, and one more for you here, folks, 35 northbound at North Walters. Mike.
Thank you very much, sir. Here's a look outside with a live cam right now. And as you can see, the clouds have moved on in here. So that's really going to stop any sort of, dare I use the word, cooling. Temperatures are just going to stay steady as where they are right now. We're at 80 here in town and a lot of mid-70s portions of the hill country. Got to factor in the humidity, which basically, I like the description that it sort of pushes back when you walk outside. It's like, no, which you do want to go back inside with all this humidity into the air conditioning, but you got to head on out there. Heat advisories today up until 7 o'clock to the eastern half of the area because some of this humidity, even though it will drop, will be hanging around. So therefore, the heat index is going to be up around 105, higher than that. We hit 102 today. That's going to set a new record high. It gets even hotter tomorrow. And still hot over the weekend. Then we start to see those chances of some rain moving in here, and temperatures will be in the 90s next week. So that is encouraging.
Very
Keep watching
encouraging.
it, though, but that's encouraging.
All right, cloud cover, anything. We'll take it at this point. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9. In the meantime, GMA is next.